All right, girls, and any boys, if we have some boys on the call tonight, welcome to the Team Living Healthy and Fit team phone call. It is Wednesday, August 5th, 2015. My name is Corri Mayo. I am your Diamond Upline and the CEO and founder of Team Living Healthy and Fit. I welcome you to the call. I am very excited to share some really good information that I am bringing back from Summit. And I first I'm going to go ahead and do a screen share here. I would first like to congratulate our leaders already this month. We have Paul Mayo Jr. at Success Club 4. We have Erica Petrowski at Success Club 2 and myself at Success Club 1. So great job. That's awesome. 3 people on the board already, and it's only the 5th. So that's really exciting, you guys. Next, this is really huge. I'm so excited for our team. We have 8 new members to our team in the last week. In 1 week, you guys. 8 new members to Team Living Healthy and Fit. I'm so excited for those of you who are out there and inviting and sharing and having some of your family members and friends jump on board with you. So we would like to welcome Chelsea Heinlen's mom, which is Cheryl Heinlen, her sister Lindsay McGreevy. That actually will allow Miss Chelsea to go Emerald tomorrow morning, so that's really exciting for her. Jenny German, Jennifer Grove, Brenda Danner, Sabrina Wood, Tina Willis, and Sabrina Wood and Tina Willis are going to allow Miss Eva Pack to go Emerald as well, so that's very exciting for you, Eva. And Amanda Reed, she is our newest member that actually signed on about 4 hours ago, so that's really exciting. Welcome all of you to the team. So our leaders for July was really pretty awesome. We had Miss Chelsea Heinlen, Erica Petrowski, Becky Graham, also known as Becky Breakdown, Donna Wadsworth, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly, Monica Taylor, who hit Success Club 5, and she was only a coach for a week, the last week of July, so that's really awesome, Monica. Paul Mayo Jr. and Eva Pack. I guess I'm on that list as well, but I didn't list myself. So great job, you guys. That's, I can't explain to you enough that trying to reach at Success Club 5 every month and helping you to grow your business, and how I can see that more and more of you are, working to push towards that. Did somebody just give me a message because I saw something? Let me see. Sorry. Oh, okay. I just want to make sure it wasn't anybody that couldn't hear anything. Okay. Emily said, great job, everybody. So she's giving you kudos. Sorry. Okay. So let's see if we can get this to keep moving. Okay. So a huge congratulations to Miss Chelsea Heinlen for being our top coach of the week. For those of you who don't know, Chelsea Heinlen is a vet tech. She works crazy hours, you guys. She literally does not get a lunch. She will make a post while she's going to the bathroom, because she is pretty much at the vets at her office at their beck and call constantly. She pulls 18-hour days sometimes, but she's still making this a priority and making this business happen. So as I mentioned earlier, she will be going Emerald tomorrow morning, and I'm very excited to announce that for her. And that's a huge, huge step in her business. And I know that she's very excited for that, because Chelsea has a big, hairy, scary goal of being able to actually enjoy her lunch, or even take a lunch and maybe go to the bathroom without, having a doctor jumping down her throat about being there all the time, and having to not travel quite so much for work. So great job, Chelsea. We're super proud of you. Okay, so now that we have honored all of our leaders and our rock stars for the last week, I'm very proud of every single one of you. Just because your name wasn't on that list doesn't mean you aren't participating, and it doesn't mean that you're not being a leader on our team, because our team happens with every single one of you. Every single one of you posting, engaging in the group, stepping up to make posts in some of the groups for us, and just being that cheerleader. It will happen, you guys. Just keep being consistent and your name will be on that list. So for tonight, we are going to be talking about the rule of 5, everyday I. So this is what they covered at the pre-summit event that I attended. It was the Finish Line Leaders with Tracy Morrow, Barbie Decker, which is now Barbie Kalev, and some of the leading coaches like Amy Reelman was on stage, Lindsay Catarino, Jason Spencer. There were several coaches. They actually had a panel for each topic that they talked about, and it was really pretty cool to hear from all the leaders, some of the really big leaders in the industry, and what their take is on things. We got like a little 5-minute spiel from each top coach, so that was pretty cool. So the rule of 5, everyday I. So every day I grow. I daily and joyfully invest in my spiritual, physical, and mental growth so I can serve from a full heart and not a depleted one. Every day I connect. I regularly meet new people, more deeply develop relationships with those I know and do business with, support my upline and downline leaders, practice servant leadership. Every day I follow up. I am creative in how I keep conversations fresh with existing relationships I've built, some more closely than others. I have methods of making sure no one falls through the cracks. Every day I track. Daily I evaluate my day and record what I did, what worked, what didn't work, and what I learned. I understand that this is a marathon, not a sprint. Tracking is the best way to see what activities are bringing results over a long period of time. And every day I plan. I know that my number one act, and I work on them daily. I am intentional with my time. I draw clear boundaries and prioritize my calendar and schedule every night before I go to sleep, so my calendar is the last thing and the first thing I see each day. So now we're going to break down each one. So every day I grow. Self-discipline, doing what you have to do to make it happen. Setting that priority, making that a priority, and really diving into your why. I know that we've talked about your why a million freaking times, and you're probably sick of hearing it. But seriously, you guys, when your why is big enough, your excuses no longer exist. And it's the truth. If your why is big enough, if you want to lose 20 pounds, if you want to pay off your debt, if you want to just help 100 people in the rest of 2015, when your why becomes big enough, the excuses all go out the window. So doing what you have to do to make it happen. There's going to be sacrifice. There's going to be times that you have to turn off the TV, or you maybe have to TiVo your favorite show, or you have to miss a certain event because your priority is to reach that ultimate goal. What is going to get you there? And you have to sometimes think about that. Is this going to help me get to that goal? Or would I be better off prioritizing this hour that was doing nothing or just scrolling on Facebook or whatever? Is it better to prioritize that hour doing 5 more reach outs for the day? Maybe you've already gotten your reach outs done, but sometimes we have to push a little bit harder to get to that ultimate goal. Making personal development intentional. So this is something, and I don't remember what the coach's name was, and I don't have my notes right in front of me, but anyway, she was talking about how she always was doing personal development and reading personal development and blah, 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 but she was like going nowhere, and she didn't really understand why. So she kind of started evaluating like what her struggles were. She wrote down like what her strengths were, And then she identified what she had been struggling with at the time. And I believe her struggle at the time that she realized this was focus. So she started making her personal development about focusing. Everything fell into place because she was doing her personal development, but she wasn't doing the personal development to help what she was struggling with. Does that make sense? If we're just feeling, yes, we want to be good at something, we want to be great at something, but if we're not making our personal development intentional and really focusing on what our personal weaknesses are, my personal weaknesses might not be the same as you. They might not be the same as the next person. But if you can identify, it might take a little bit of time to identify that, but to sit down and identify and be honest with yourself. What do you find yourself avoiding every day? What do you find yourself struggling with every day? Is it inviting? Is it reaching out? Is it doing your personal development, period? I mean, let's be honest, it's one of the first things that gets thrown to the wayside. But making your personal development intentional and really identifying what those weaknesses are, okay? So Barbie Decker, Khalif, newly married, she asked a question, and she had read this in a personal development book that she had been reading, and it was, are the successful people around you making excuses, or are they making it happen? So think about that for a minute. Like, think about the people in your life that are accomplishing their dreams. They're doing bigger things in life. They've set this goal for themselves to move forward. Not that they're better, but they're moving forward. That they want something and they go for it. They're go-getters. They don't let anything get in their way. Do you ever hear them making excuses? Or, oh, I can't do it today. Or, oh, I'm just so tired. Or, oh, I spilled coffee all over my laptop. Probably not. Those are the people that choose to see it from a different perspective. And they're like, crap, I spilled freaking coffee all over my laptop, but damn it, I'm still going to reach out to 5 people if I have to use my phone. You know what I mean? Like, those are the people that are going to, no matter what happens, they are going to keep pushing forward. So identifying what you are good at and be great at. So we were kind of just talking about that when we were talking about the making your personal development intentional. So we tend to, out of the 3 vital behaviors and what we do on a daily basis, we tend to be good at some of the things and, maybe a little bit weaker on the other things. Identify what you're good at and make yourself great at it. If you're good at recruiting, work on that a little bit more and be great at recruiting. The top successful coaches in the business aren't good at all 3. They'll tell you that. They're not good at all 3. Some of them are really good at inviting. Some of them are really good at recruiting. And some of them are really good at being a product of the product. But very rarely are they super strong across the board. They find which one they're really good at. So if they're really good at recruiting, they're freaking out there inviting people to coaching like there's no tomorrow. And that's how they grow their business, because they're recruiting. So find what you are good at and what you kind of is your niche, like what you feel most comfortable at and you tend to excel in, and keep pushing hard on that, because all of them are going to come full circle and all of them are going to help you to grow. But if you can be really great at one thing instead of just being lackluster at all 3, you're going to be far further ahead by doing that than if you try to make all of them perfect all the time. Okay. And then the last thing for growth is one-on-one connection. Make sure, even if it's just, a smile to somebody or making eye contact, starting up a new conversation with somebody and complimenting them. That is going to start that one-on-one connection and that relationship with people that starts to open that door, because we're in the business of making and building relationships with people. Okay. It's not selling, it's making relationships and letting those relationships grow. Okay. So the next thing is every day I follow up. So less than 1% will say yes the first time. That's a fact. It's actually Much higher than that. It's usually the 7th time that you reach out to somebody that they actually say yes. So for those of us who get discouraged on the first no, it doesn't mean no forever. It just means not right now. And I know that we say that all the time, but it's the truth. So we can't take it personally. You know, that stat right there shows less than 1% will say yes. Those people are just awesome freaks of nature, I guess, if they say yes right away. Okay, so they talked about 3 ways of following up. So one of them, you don't get very far with that one, right? Number 2, you're a hunter. No one wants to be hunted. So when you're a hunter, it's usually like maybe it's the end of the month, or all you have on your brain is success club, or I need money. And it becomes I. It's all about your goals and what you need and what your business needs. And it stops becoming about the client. It stops becoming about the prospect. It stops becoming about helping somebody, right? That's when we become a hunter. And people can feel that 10,000 miles away. And what do? They put guards up and they ignore you. And then what does that do to you? You feel even worse. And then you get discouraged. So don't be the hunter. We have to remember that we started this because what did 99% of us say? Why do we want to do this? Because we want to help people, right? We want to keep ourselves accountable and we want to help people. So if we're helping people, we're not helping them by making a sale. We're helping them by building a relationship, figuring out what their real needs are and what their struggles are, and connecting them with a product that's going to help them overcome those struggles. So the 3rd way of following up would be you're a farmer. And this is the ideal way of following up. You cultivate relationships and you harvest when they are ready. So you're making that one-on-one connection. You are taking that time to focus on that person, what their needs are, what their struggles are, and how you personally can help them to step outside of that box. You're not focused on the sale. You're not focused on growing your team and making them a part of the team. You are focused on them. If they, let's say they, they're in a financial situation and the coaching opportunity could really help them, put the focus on that it's helping them. When we put the focus on us is when we become that hunter again. Okay. So if you're genuinely helping them and you have their needs at heart, you will just automatically be a farmer because you're being genuine. And I'm not saying that we don't all become hunters at sometimes and we get in kind of those spurts, but you have to kind of remind yourself, what is my objective here? So, don't be focused on, one of the easiest ways that they said was, so you're not focused on the sale. Don't be worried about getting, like when you're reaching out, I know that at first when you're starting coaching, the whole reaching out to somebody and like how to start the conversation and where should it go, and I can't get them to Beachbody right away, or I can't get them to health and fitness right away. That's okay. Just be you, start the conversation, and let it go where it goes. Your objective is not to get it to health and fitness and not to get it to Beachbody in 0.3 seconds, okay? The objective is to set up the next contact, the next time that you're going to connect with this person. And if you keep that in the back of your mind, it's going to be easier to keep the conversation going instead of feeling like, okay, well, they stopped talking to me. What do I say now? Because don't we all feel like that? Sometimes you're like, oh, she hasn't responded to me in like 3 weeks and I don't know what to say. Just say, hey girl, it was super nice catching up with you. I really have to go right now, but I would love to catch up again soon. Would you mind if I called you on blah, blah, blah? Or would you mind if I, followed up with you and, we catch up again on whatever day? That's fine to say to people. Even if you don't have to go, it's okay to cut the conversation off. You don't have to be tied to that person in it. I know that sometimes we're like, oh, she's talking to me. Okay, I'm going to keep going with it. I'm going to keep going with it. An hour later, you get nothing done because you're on one conversation with one person, right? Cut it off. Say, hey, girl, I really got to go. The kids are bugging me, whatever. you know, whatever it is, and stop the conversation and pick it back up. It's another interaction with that person. And it gives a little bit of time for them to let everything sink in, and they don't feel like you're just trying to hound them, because really, who now has an hour to just sit and talk with one person that you know, I mean, it's nice once in a while to catch up with people, but there's not a motive there, if that makes sense. So the other thing with following up is if I were to, would you? And we've talked about that quite a bit, but if I were to share a video with you, would you watch it? Or if I were to set up a time to talk with you, would you be able to talk? Or, you know, that's just a really easy way to invite somebody or to get to the next message, which is from GoPro, Eric Worre. But GoPro by Eric Worre is another great book for scripts and following up and that sort of thing. I'm going to go, hold on, I'm getting a bunch of messages. Can you guys hear me okay? I can't, where is it at? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so every day I track the customer and groups of Facebook. Okay, so on Facebook, we pretty much all know that we can do groups, and inside our groups we have our challengers, and you know, we can catch up with them, and you can go to the members list and very easily, you know, right click and send each person a message and follow up with that person. There's also called a contact list, and when you're on Facebook, it's like groups, pages, and then I think the lists. You can actually create a list, and you can make like your family members a list. You can make coaching prospects a list. Let's see. Let's just go to, we ordered Keyston a fathead for his new bedroom. That's what that was. Okay. This is not something I have utilized a whole lot, but I do have a list, but it's not. Let's see. Okay, so under friends, I think that's what it is. Okay, so if you go to friends, can you all see that? So if you go to your friends, which is underneath groups there, if you click on that, it has these different lists, and you can create a list. I know I have one in here that's right here, coaching prospects. I haven't used it in a while, but if you click on that, then it gives, oh, just kidding. Should be able to, I thought I could just open it. Manage list, edit list, maybe. So it has a bunch of different people here, so that I can see all the people that I'm sharing the coaching opportunity with. So it's just another way for you to create a tracking list and have that in one location. So one would be your Facebook groups, another would be creating lists. And you know, I would encourage you to do like coaching prospects, challenge group prospects, and then maybe like customer leads or something like that. So that way you have an ongoing list of people to check in with. Weekly coach check-in, so that would be checking in with your challengers and with your Beachbody customers. So with our Beachbody customers, you can actually send them emails through our Beachbody email. You can send them handwritten notes like once a month. And then there's also, it's called Aweber. I use MailChimp. MailChimp is a free service where you can actually, when you're on teambeachbody.com, when you're in your customers, you can actually export into an Excel sheet all of your customers. And then at MailChimp, you can import all of them through the Excel spreadsheet. So you don't have to like copy and paste all of those names in their emails, which can get really overwhelming once your business starts to grow and you have hundreds of customers. And then you can set up different lists and send out mass emails to those people. And you can actually pre-schedule them. So like, let's say you want to do it once a month. You can sit down and type up a bunch of emails and have them auto-scheduled, kind of like we do with Buffer, but it would be through email. And with MailChimp, I'm not sure about Aweber because I have never used it, but with MailChimp, you can track, you can see who opened the email, how many times they opened the email, if they clicked any of the links in the email. And for me, that's been really good about, like if I send one about a challenge group or something that's coming out new or something like that, I can see who's clicking on it. So then guess who I write down to follow up with? The people who were clicking and showing some interest, okay? So, and then we talked about the challenge groups. If there is no tracking, there is no follow-up. And if there's no follow-up, what's the answer always going to be? It's no, always. So definitely get that tracking down. If you don't have a list, you guys, I can't stress to you enough, and I'll be the first to admit, I had a handwritten list that was pretty half-assed, to be perfectly honest, that I never really used. And then about 6 or 8 months ago, I, for real, sat down and started keeping track. I write down the person's name that I add to my list, and I write down how I added them, whether they came from Instagram, Facebook, my Facebook page, if they were a referral, whatever. Because guess what? That's a way for me to track, to know where I need to spend more time and what is working for me. And now I have like 8 or 9 pages front and back that's completely covered with names. So if you don't have that yet, do it. Do it now. It's never too late. Go in your Facebook and the people you already have messages with, write their names down. Start writing down your family members. Start writing down whoever comes to mind. Write down your barber or the girl that does your hair. I mean, everybody, write them down, because on the days, even as many messages as I have in my inbox each day now, there's still days I'm like, oh crap, who do I reach out to? I don't have anybody new on the list, right? I go to that list, I'm like, okay, here we go. You know, here's 5 more people, or here's 10 more people. And you just start going from that list and reaching back out to those people, okay? Okay, so then the last is planning. So inviting and connecting. You want to do your personal development, being a product of the product. So those are our 3 vital behaviors, right? Everybody knows those by heart. Follow-ups, it shows that you care, okay? So we're not bothering them. If somebody shares with you, especially if you're getting to that core why, or that reason that is just really getting to them, they really want to lose the weight, or they want to change their lifestyle, or they're sad or depressed, or they're just not happy, whatever it is, you're doing them a disservice by not following up with them, because people are 1%, less than 1% say yes the first time. People are scared because it's unknown and they're not sure if it's going to work for them, and they've probably tried 10,000 other things before and nothing has worked, so they're scared. And they honestly just want somebody to hold their hand at first. You know, didn't we all want that at first? Somebody just say, hey girl, come on, take my hand. I'm going to help you through this. You can do it. I did it. I'm still doing it. I'm still a work in progress. Let's do it together. So don't feel like you're bothering them. And if you feel like you're bothering them, say, hey girl, I don't mean to bother you, but the other day we were talking about your goals. Insert their goals. And you were really sharing some intimate details with me and how you really wanted to make some changes. I know that you maybe have some, you know, maybe you're a little nervous to get started. Is there something that I can help with? Or, you know, is this something that you're still considering? Just talk with them about it. You know, just talk with them like you would talk with a friend. but don't be afraid to say that. A lot of the top coaches do the, hey girl, I don't mean to bother you, but because you're not. You're just being genuine, and you're trying to follow up with what they have already shared with you is what they're struggling with and what they would really like to work towards. Coaching groups, being active in your team. Definitely being active in the team and being a big part of the team culture is not only going to help you to grow and to help keep the team morale up, but it's going to help you to keep on track as well. So keep active in the coaching groups, participate in the groups that we have outside of like the team. Like right now we're doing the Dash for Diamond. I understand that there's we had a handful of girls, I think 7 or 8 girls who paid to get into this other Dash for Diamond group. It kind of is a little bit of a dud. It's okay, it happens. We didn't know, but we have set up our own little group, and who cares about the other group? You know, we're going to push full steam ahead to our goals. We're going to do what we need to do, and we're going to win that money. But because of this, because we have set up this intimate private group with just us, that group is not a paid group. That group is completely free to anybody that wants to push for their goals. Now, you're not going to be eligible for the pot that the other girls who invested are eligible for, but that doesn't mean that you can't participate, you can't learn, you can't see some of the videos from the top coaches, and that you can't be in this community of people who are pushing hard to reach their biggest, hairiest, scariest goal ever. I mean, how cool is that? So don't be afraid to jump in with both feet and participate in those groups and participate in the Be Your Own Boss group, and, you know, surround yourself with us. Surround yourself with the community, because everybody in this business, or at least everybody that I'm friends with and that I know, they only want everybody to succeed. They want everybody to go up. Nobody's trying to hold anybody back. So embrace that. Take advantage of that, because there's not many businesses out there that have such positivity and want everybody to go up. Most of them, they're pushing you down as they're climbing to the top, you know? So embrace that community that we have. And most importantly, show up every day. Even if you're super freaking ass busy and everything in life has hit you at one time and you don't feel like you can do one more thing, make one post. Make it an inspirational quote. Make it a daily affirmation. You know, just something. Show up every day. It will happen. This business is not something that happens overnight. It isn't something that grows by itself. And it takes hard work. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It takes hard work. It takes climbing up an escalator. When the escalator is going down and you're trying to race your butt to the top, it takes some hustle at first. But I will tell you this. Once you hustle and get to the top of that escalator, you can breathe. And I'm not saying it gets easy, but it does get easier. Things start to fall into place. People are seeing that you're genuine. People are seeing that you're consistent. People are seeing that you're becoming a leader, and they want to follow you. They want to be a part of that. A lot of people are sitting back right now watching, I'm just going to watch this Corri chick and see if she's for real. She's going to do like one of those things where she loses weight and then gains a little back, and then she loses weight and then she gains some more back, and then she loses weight and just talks about that all the time? Or is she somebody who really truly wants to help people and really truly is trying to make a lifestyle change? Not that she doesn't have struggles, but that she really truly is working towards that goal. So keep showing up every day, because it does get easier, and I freaking promise it's worth it. I know for a lot of you, retiring from your full-time job or just having the freedom of your own time again is huge for you. It's something that you really, really want in life. So, you know, let's just put it out there. If you hustle for 10 months or a year, And I mean hustle. You show up every single day and you're consistent, and you invite your 5 people, you reach out to 5 new people, you add to your list every single day, and you're a product of the product, and you do your personal development. Is that year of sacrificing an extra hour or 2 of your time going to be worth it when you can tell that job to shove it? When you can have the freedom of your own time and you can be secure financially and not have to worry about paycheck to paycheck. So, there's one more slide. Sorry, I got off on a little bit of a tangent there. Okay, so planning tips. Find a no distraction time. 45 minutes to 50 minutes is usually, even though they say power hour, our brains are kind of programmed to do like 45 to 50 minutes and taking a 10 to 15 minute break. But it takes us like 10 or 15 minutes. So let's say we're working on something and we get distracted by the kids or by the phone ringing or the dog barking or whatever. It takes us 10 to 15 minutes to get back into that zone that we were in before we were interrupted. So finding that no distraction time, making sure that we're doing our devotion and personal development, making sure that every single day we're doing our invites and follow-ups before our news feed. Do not click that little button. Don't do it. Just wait. You can get your follow-ups and your invites and all that done, and then get into your news feed if you really have to, or while you're sitting on the pot, if you want to, that's your time, okay? While you're sitting on the pot, you can look at your news feed. Any other time you're on Facebook or whatever, you're working it, okay? Using the business activity tracker or some sort of a tracking system for you. I personally, and I'm not saying that this is for everybody, the BAT doesn't work for me. It's not something, I've used it several times before. It's not something I'm consistent with. It's not something that makes me shoot for higher goals. But I encourage you to try it because it might be perfect for you. It's just not for me. I have a good tracking system where I have all my names written out in my passion planner, and it's very easy for me to follow from week to week. That's just me. Try the BAT. See if it works for you. You got to play around with it a little bit until you find your mojo with your tracking, but you need to track because it might be easy right now. You'd be like, oh, last week I talked to so-and-so. I'm telling you that because you're going places in this business, it's going to get harder. And there's going to be days you're like, crap, who was I supposed to follow up with about the size challenge pack? I had it sold and now I don't remember who it was. And you're frantically going through your messages trying to figure out who it was. Save yourself a favor and just write the name down on something or type it into, Google Docs or whatever you're using, but track. And then protecting your family time. So this is huge. Especially being a mom of 2 little ones and having a husband. I see, and I have seen coaches in this business who they want big things, and that is great. But for me, when I talk about sacrificing, I'm talking about like TV time, or maybe going out to dinner or something like that. I'm not talking about family time. I think that it's very important for you to unplug. There needs to be time set aside from that. Even when you're with your kids in the evenings or you have that family time, just because you're sitting with them doesn't mean you get to be on your phone the whole time. Okay? Make sure you unplug. Because especially for us who have younger kids, one of the reasons, I know at least for me, one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I want more time with my kids. I want to be present in their life. So, and I'm guilty. Sometimes I'm on my phone too much and I have to remind myself, I got to put it down and I have to be present in the moment. So make sure you're setting that time aside. And even if you don't have kids and you just need that me time, you still have to do that. Okay. This shouldn't consume you, but it is going to take some time and some effort to work towards big goals. Okay, that makes sense. I'm going to stop that. Hello. Were you guys trying to talk to me? Oh, I don't know what this is. I'm sorry, but when I'm when I'm on screen share, I'm kind of retarded and I'm not really sure how to open the messages. And I'm so afraid that if I click on it, that I'm going to like lose what I'm doing. So I just, when I see those little notifications coming up, I'm like, oh God, I hope they can hear me. If not, it's recorded. All right, girls. I think we have all girls on the call tonight. Do any of you have any questions? Anything you can think of that we talked about? 9/11. I'm sorry, I got a little winded. No, nobody, nothing at all. Shannon, is your hair just pulled back in a pony? I thought you chopped it all off. I was like, oh my gosh, she got a haircut. It's in a pony. I see it now.
Hey, Corri.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
Connect was not part of your going over. You listed Connect first. Grow, Connect, follow up, track, plan.
Oh, did I miss that?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but I think I combined that in with growing, which was Connect on a one-on-one.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, connecting on, making that smile, that eye contact, and that interaction on a daily basis, and just really making it personal to somebody and reaching out with them. You're right, though. I didn't make a separate slide for it, but I think it was just combined into the grow. I apologize for that. Anybody else? No? Nothing? Either I did a really awesome job or
I have a question.
Talked way too much.
I couldn't unmute myself. Can you hear me?
What? Yeah.
Okay. In that diamond group, they suggested another group. I don't know. I'm kind of on overload with groups right now because I started doing the Shalene push group, and then there's the diamond group, and then in the diamond group they said the 101 group, and I'm like, too much stuff going on.
Oh yeah, we're not doing that group. That's the group that we are. Okay, so the finish line.
That's the group that I joined.
The finish line leaders dash to diamond has been fairly confusing. And is just different content than what we are used to, and it's kind of hard to follow. So what we have done is myself and April got together and decided that for our girls to succeed, that this was not the right fit. So we created our own group and provided all the information that we were given when we went through a separate Dash for Diamond back in March, and scheduled all the posts out. So the girls who paid to be in the finish line leaders are still engaging enough to make themselves present, but they're actually following our Dash for Diamond because 1, we want our girls to succeed, and 2, we want them to win that money. I'm not eligible for the pot. I had to pay to get into it, but I'm not eligible for it. So my goal is to help each of you reach diamond so you can win that pot.
What's the name of the diamond group?
It's dash 4, the number 4 diamond, but I can add you to it because I'm the admin of it.
Okay, yeah, well, I think I just found it. But yeah, okay, then I was all confused because I went to the other one.
You can remove
other one had.
I'm sorry, what?
The other one had, yeah, it was very confusing.
Yeah, go ahead and remove yourself from that group because you're not eligible for the pot because the money had to be in on Saturday, and it's rather confusing, and it's just going to be too many notifications. So I would go ahead and remove yourself from that one. But for you girls who have money in, stay in it, like stuff, I don't know if we're really going to check that because I don't know how much they're really checking it, but I would hate for you to bust your hump and not engage in it enough to be a part of that pot. But as far as I know, as long as you had your sponsorship drill down, you paid your money, you signed that piece of paper, and if you show sponsorship, That's a tricky one at 9:15 at night. Sponsorship drill down on September 1st, I think, that you are diamond, then I don't know how they could deny it to you. So, okay. And, if you find that group to be helpful, please engage in it. Just because I found it confusing and some of the other girls find it confusing, I don't want you to not participate in the group. But I also, for those of you who find it very confusing and too much to be in multiple groups, which I think is kind of crazy, then, participate in our group, and hopefully that group is better fitted. And it's a little bit more our style with having everything in one location, to have all the files and everything in one location, so it's easier. Okay. That help? Does anybody else have any more questions? So Emily, if you request it, I will approve you.
Yeah, I just did, and I think Michelle approved me. But I think I'm going to stay in. There was some stuff in the other group that was good, like for personal development and resources and stuff like that, but I'm just not going to follow it.
Yeah, and you can turn your notifications off and, whatever, if that makes it easier for you, and you can just go in there and check out the resources when you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Is everybody else good? Okay, I think we have, I'm going to go ahead and stop this.